So everybody's walked into an organization before as a new employee or a vendor or what have you, at sort of a seemingly modern office building, and you feel like you're kind of stuck in this time warp. It really is like a wormhole opened up, and not really one from the future where things might be great, but one from some crappy decade. And out of this wormhole falls this employee handbook, a whole bunch of policies, and a stupid job description that really doesn't apply to anything that you're ever going to do. So one of the things, so these are all kind of vestiges of a bygone era, really, like from the 50s, more or less. So I'm on this journey. I've been on this journey for about 10 years or so to help organizations get more agile, more nimble, and more humanly connected with each other, and you don't do that through a policy. Reading HR, the Ghost of the Workplace Past, again, sort of from the Eisenhower era, a lot of these things originated. They don't really serve any useful purpose today. So that's really one of the things I've been trying to do. And one of the things I've found is there's a lot of inertia around this. But we know, at the end of the day, we know what works. So this is from Daniel Pink's book, right, Drive. And the entire book, as I recall, I don't ever recall seeing the words job description, policy, or process in that. But we know what works. So one of the things that happens is this unfortunate formula really unfolds. So too many policies leads to stifled innovation, lower engagement, and lower profits. So the first half of that is a little iffy. The second half of that formula, rock solid. All sorts of data to support that. So policies do have a place, though, as we're told, I guess. They are supposed to mitigate unnecessary risk, reinforce organizational values, provide us some protection, and provide some guidance to us, if the truth be told. But here's the problem. Try to eliminate one. Go into your office tomorrow and suggest that we eliminate some policy, right? And what you're going to find is this outcry from attorneys, no offense, all sorts of other people. But let me just be really clear. I have a policy is not a leadership strategy, right? So when I was faced with this, I decided I was either going to go scorched earth or some other format, right? I like to go scorched earth, but that's the way it goes. So this is the framework we settled on. Legally required, ethically necessary, and employee driven. So these two, legally required and ethically necessary, you got to prove it to me, right? You got to show me the rule, you got to show me the law. So we went from 163 policies to 13. I tried to get down to below 10, but the elephant pooped, and I couldn't push it up the hill, right? This is what a 22-page policy looks like. Now, you might think that this is about workplace safety or it's about sexual harassment or what have you. This is a policy on completing your timesheet. This is a real policy. I just laid this out the other day. So this other vestige that we've been dealing with are these job descriptions, right? So they serve no useful purpose whatsoever. They don't describe anything about a job. They're useful for comp, but that's about it. And even in comp, we only use a paragraph, right? These are some actual requirements, but these aren't really, they don't tell you anything about the job. These are just attributes that every employee should kind of come into the door with, right? Occasionally, you get the truth will creep in on you, right? So I don't even know what this means, quite frankly, but there's a synergy, correlation, and opportunity, and you got to see it everywhere you go for whatever good that is. So I call this the don't even bother to apply here requirement, right? Unless you happen to be some sort of superhero. And I had another kind of line for this, but I think what I'm going to do is this is a synergy, opportunity, and correlation. Correlation looks a little full of himself, don't you think? So you're never going to get anywhere with that. So when was the last time you actually looked at your job description? It actually told you anything. I've never even seen my job description. I've been working for a long time in many organizations across many industries, never seen a job description. And it never helped me. So a different framework, a way to look at it that's more future focused and will actually work is to have something that's competency-based and is co-owned with the employee and the manager, right? And I'm gonna give you a little sample of what that looks like. You don't have to worry about, I can send this to you if you want it, it's not that big a deal. So we've created role profiles. They're one-page documents. They're owned by the employee along with the manager. They talk about competencies, accountabilities, things that people are responsible for, how they have to work together, and 2 or 3 metrics, and that's it. So one of my focuses is making sure that as HR professionals, we continue to focus on the human needs in our organizations. people want connection and authenticity. They don't want, and you're not going to find that in a policy or a handbook or a job description. Thank you.